Hi and welcome to a book haul. For those who don't know me, my name is Caitlin and this is my channel. Welcome. So I guess let's get right into it because if we don't, we're gonna be here for a long time. So the first books I got at Half Price Books were these three: The Golden Lily, The Indigo Spell, and The Silver Shadows. All by Rochelle Mead. These are books 2, 3, and 5 in the Bloodlines series. I have read The Vampire Academy, but I never did get to Bloodlines because I wasn't able to collect them or my library didn't have them. So I'm just working my way into collecting them. I have all of them, I think. Well, I have 1 through 5 now. I already had 1 and 4, but now I have 1 through 5. The next books that I got at Half Price Books were Fairest and Cinder by Marissa Mayer. So I actually read the whole series already. I've read Cinder and Fairest, but I did not have a hardcover, or I did not have a physical copy of either, so I just wanted to get them to complete my shelf, which is right here, and just have the whole series. The next book I got is The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. This one I've been kind of looking at, just like, I might like that. And it's, I think, middle grade. A middle grade fantasy, I think. I could be completely wrong. It could be YA. I don't know. But it's written by 2 pretty popular authors. I definitely love Cassandra Clare's work. And I have yet to read any of Holly Black's work, so I don't know if I like her work or not. But I think I'm gonna like it, and I might just read this book just for fun. The next book I got was so I was checking all those books out. I was at the front counter, like, the person was ringing them up, and then I looked out of the corner of my eye and I saw this book and I had to get it, and that was Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. I'm actually currently reading this one. I'm about 4 pages in and I adore it so far. I need to read this as fast as possible, but I also have a lot to do, so we'll have to see. But I'm very excited to read the final book in the Dark Artifices. I'm probably going to cry a few times. I love this book, and there's so much that I love about this copy in particular, like all of the art, if I can find an art piece really fast. Look at how pretty that is! And then there's also the inside cover. I'm not going to show you, you can look it up, and Cassandra Clare has it on her Instagram if you're really wondering where it is. But I am so excited to completely read this series and follow and just finish the Dark Artifices. Okay, the next books I got off Amazon. These are just a whole bunch of books that I got, and so I'm going to go through them one by one. The first book is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This one I've heard everyone was raving about last year. I just never got to it. At this point it's too late for me to get to it, in my opinion. I feel like I need to, the sequel is almost coming out, and so I would like to read this and then also read the sequel right next to it. I don't usually like to read a book twice in a year, so that's why I'm not going to be getting this until the sequel comes out. The next book that I got was Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I've heard a lot of good things about this series, and I know the sequel's coming out this year, so I'm definitely going to get into reading this book as soon as I can. Hopefully I'll have the sequel when I get into this book. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, the next 3 books are a series that I've actually been trying to build for a while, but I only have book 1 of, and that's the Falling Kingdom series. Book 1 is right here behind my head. But this is books 2, 3, and 6 of the series. We have Rebel Spring, Gathering Darkness, and Immortal Reign, and these are all by Morgan Rhodes. I can't wait to get into these. I'm thinking I'm going to be getting into them around April when I have more time. My friend recommended me these books a long time ago when I first read the first 3 books, and I loved them, and I wasn't able to get 4, 5, or 6, so I'm going to try to get into all of them, and hopefully I will be able to finish them really fast. The next book I got is something that I don't actually hear a lot of people talking about, but I definitely think that it's very interesting and definitely something I want to read, and that is The Novice by Taran Matharu. I love the covers of these books so much, but I love this series so much just from the covers themselves. It seems like it's just a fun high fantasy. It feels like it's going to be something like Aragon and Inheritance and the Inheritance cycle, and I'm really hoping that it'll just be something that grabs my attention and pulls me through the rest of the books. The next book is The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. I am so hyped for this one. I've read this one already. I have yet to read Crown's Fate. I really want to, and so I want to reread this book and then get into Crown's Fate. I can't wait for it because I just love this world so much. I love the magic system. I love everything about it. I love the characters. I'm just really excited. The next book I got is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I might do like a whole video where I talk about this, Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on Cruel Prince and like why it's taken me this long to get to it, because there is a reason, but I don't want to do the reason right now because it'll take way too long. Let me know in the comments, or let me know below if you want me to do that. So that's it for the ones I got off Amazon. Now we're going to go into the ones I got at Target the other day. The first one is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. I am very excited for this one. It sounds like it's going to be a fun, adventure-filled, or action-packed book where a lot happens, and I'm excited. It's a trilogy. I'm kind of scared that I'm starting it now, but oh well, we'll have to see if I get to it this year. If I don't have anything to worry about. The next book I got is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is a signed first edition, which I'm very happy. I am absolute trash for signed books. I love signed books so much. I don't know how many signed books I actually own. I need to look into. But What If It's Us is a meet cute kind of thing from what I've heard, and it's like, yeah, I don't know much about it. I've heard mixed reviews on it, so I definitely want to get into it and see what everyone's talking about and see if I like it myself. I'm very excited. It's a perfect addition to my tiny contemporary shelf, so whatever. And the last book I got at Target was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I adore this cover so much. The colors are gorgeous. The picture is the best. I am really hopeful that this is going to be a very exciting fantasy type of sci-fi book where like kind of like Cinder. I don't want to say Cinder because I don't expect it to have the same crew or the same general idea but I'm kind of thinking it's going to be like that, where it's just like we're exploring the worlds in a spaceship kind of thing with robots. That's what I'm kind of expecting. I don't know. We'll have to see if that's what it ends up being. Alright, the next books I got off Amazon as well, but I pre-ordered them so they arrived later than the rest of the Amazon books. And that would be The Traitor Prince by C.J. Redwine. This is book 3 in the Ravenspire series. I have the other 2 Ravenspire books. I'll talk more about them when we get there. I don't actually know which one this is a retelling of. The Ravenspire series is full of retellings. I don't know which one this is a retelling of. I need to look that up. And then the last book that I got that was pre-ordered was The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is, of course, the second book. Like I said, if you'd like me to give my thoughts on The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King, let me know. I will most likely be reading them this week, so we'll see what I think. And I'll probably be able to upload that on the 22nd or the 29th. We'll see. So the next 2 books I got because my aunt gave them to me for Christmas. It was a little bit late because I didn't see her at all this holiday season, which sucked, and that was To Kill a Kingdom and Grim Lovelies. Grim Lovelies I'm so excited for because it takes place in one of my favorite places in the entire world, in one of the places that I want to travel to, which is Paris. I love the idea of Paris. I love reading stories about Paris. I have Parisian Lego sets. Like, Paris is kind of like my dream place to be. I want to go travel there someday in the future. And so I like the idea that this takes place there. This is a very unique concept about an animal becoming a human. And it sounds pretty interesting. I think it's set in the modern world. I don't know. At least I've put it on the shelf. Like, I've put it as an urban fantasy, so we'll have to see. And To Kill a Kingdom is about, it's about sirens, and it's a Little Mermaid retelling, but darker, which is really fun. I love dark fantasies. I love reading retellings as well. I adore retellings so much. So we'll have to see what I think about this. The next book that I got was Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I have yet to read a Victoria Schwab book. I know what. I will be getting to them. That's why I got Our Dark Duet, because I own Our Savage Song. It's down there. And so I want to get to that series. That's why I have Our Dark Duet, so I can read the whole duology. Alright, now we're getting into BookOutlet. All of the books that I got there. So we're going to start with Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. Like I said when I was talking about Crown's Game, I'm very, very excited for this book, just to finish the duology, finish the series. I can't wait. I love the characters so much. I love the magic system. I just want to know what happens. The next 2 books are historical fiction, I think. I love historical fiction. I will read it quite often. I love all types of fiction, honestly. I'm really excited to get to these, which are the Dark Days Club and the Dark Days Pact. These are mystery. These are like a mix of mystery, historical fiction, and maybe even a little bit of paranormal or fantasy, because I see some shimmery on the cover. So I'm very excited to get into these, and it's about this girl who family's maid goes missing, so she goes to search for the answers, and she goes searching for the maid, and she discovers that there is something strange going on around her, and so she has to find out what's going on and what happened to her parents when they died. Apparently they died a while ago. I don't know. I'll have to get into this book, into the series. I saw The Dark Days Packed, and I was like at my library and at a local bookstore, and I wanted to read the series, but I knew it was a sequel, so I had to find this one, and I finally own it, and so now I can read it. The next two books I got were Scythe and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. I am excited for this series. I have read Scythe. Most of these books that I got were actually books that series that I've started but never finished. And so I'm very excited to read Scythe again. I loved it the first time. I loved the whole idea of the world. And then I just want to get into Thunderhead to see what happens after the events of this book. So the next three books I got are a continuation of a series that I actually already mentioned the first book to in this haul. I got the first book in this one as well. And that is the Summoners trilogy, along with the prequel. So we have The Inquisition, The Battle Mage, and The Outcast. These are all by Taran Matharu, and like I said, I love these covers so much. They're so pretty. I want to read the series as soon as possible because of the covers. Alright, the next book I got is one that is a continuation of a series that I'm really looking forward to reading, but I can't for a long time because I have to get the first series as like a second part series, and that is Shadowcaster, which is book 2 in the Shattered Realms series. This is by Cinda Williams-Chima. I have Flamecaster. I want to read the series so bad. I love these covers as well. If you can't tell, I love like a shrouded character kind of thing, like where you can't tell if that's the character, or well, you can tell that it's the character, but you can't like see their face all that well. I love those covers. I need to read the Seven Realms. I've already figured that out. Seven Realms is a must to read for me. But I need to collect that, and so in the meantime I will be collecting the Shattered Realms. The next two books I have are books 1 and 2 in the Ravenspire series, The Shadow Queen and The Wishgranter, both by C.J. Redwine. This is a Snow White retelling, and this is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. If you can't tell, I love retellings. They're absolutely amazing. I'm going to mention that like 10 times. They're just amazing. I love them so much. But I cannot wait to get back into the series. I read Shadow Queen like 1 or 2 years ago. I don't remember much of what happened, but I know it was great enough. It's great enough that I wanted to look up the second book. But I can't wait to get into this series again. I hope I can read it soon. I know that The Blood Spell comes out in February, I think. And that I'm really excited for because, hey, book 4, and I want to just devour this series as soon as possible. The next book I got is This Monstrous Thing by Mackenzie Lee. This is a Frankenstein retelling. Hey, is that a theme of this? I got a whole bunch of retellings. Pretty much, yeah. I got a lot of retellings. And so I'm very excited to get into this. This is like I said, a Frankenstein retelling, and it seems really interesting. I love the story of Frankenstein, and I want to read more. The next series is actually a duology that I had finished, and I read the whole thing, but I just had to own it because I want to reread it. It's so good. I read this about last year, and this is The Orphan Queen and the Mirror King by S.J. Jones. I am very, very excited to get into this series. I remember loving the characters, the world, the magic system, everything about this. I want to get back into it. I know I loved it so much, and I want to get back into the story. Okay, the next book I have is The Blood of Wonderland by Colleen Oakes. I actually have the first book, Queen of Hearts, over there. I want to collect the whole series and then do a massive read through. I adore these covers because it has Princess, Warrior, Queen, and the first book has Princess bolded, the second book has Warrior, and I'm only assuming the third has Queen bolded. So I am very, very excited to read this series, very excited to understand, to just get into it, because I love, once again, this is a retelling. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love retellings. It's perfect for me. Alright, the next book I got is a series of novellas. I'm not the biggest fan of novellas from time to time, but if it adds to the plot and it adds to the story, I will definitely read them, and that is Sight Witch by Susan Dennard. I cannot wait to get back into the Witchland series. I only read Truth Witch and I fell in love with it. I want to read all of the books, but I've been holding off because Blood Witch comes out in February. I'm getting Blood Witch, and so I'm going to I'm going to do like a massive read through February of the whole Witchland series, and I'm going to just devour them, essentially. The next books I got were, well, more to build up my collection for one series in particular, and that's Fallen Kingdoms. These are books 4 and 5 in the Fallen Kingdom series, Frozen Tides and Crystal Storm. I am so excited to get to these. These are the books that I have yet to read in the series, and I love the covers so much. As you can tell, they're my favorite type of cover, which is like there's a person on the cover and you can't see their face, but they're doing something magical. I love those covers. I love them so much. They're the best, and I adore them. The next two books are books that one of them is a duology. I think right now it's a duology. And I don't know how so I remember loving them, so I've only read the first book in this duology, and that is Winter Song, and then the second one is Shadow Song by S.J. Jones. I adored Winter Song when I read it. It was like really emotional, really just powerful, and I'm speechless over it. I loved it so much. I still want to reread it because I've grown as a reader since I read it last, and I want to see, like, do I still think it's an amazing book? I mean, there are some themes that I'm not sure if I remember. It was a while since I've read it, and so I don't know if I remember all the scenes correctly, and there might be some stuff in there that's just not the things you want to spread around. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just want to reread the series as soon as possible. And now I have one more book that I got in this entire book haul. This is book 41, and that is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I heard a lot of great things about this book. My best friend read this book, and she ripped through the first 50 pages. She said she was bawling by page 50. She said that she wanted to rip apart the book when she got past that. She wanted to throw it against the wall. It made her that emotional towards it, and I want a book that just draws me in and rips my heart to shreds at this moment. I just think that would be a great book to read. So this is definitely a book that I'm looking forward to reading, and I'm looking forward to getting into as a series. I think this is a standalone fantasy. I hope it is, because I like standalone fantasies. They're fun. And so we'll have to see how it ends up and what happens. So that's the last book, and that's the end of the book haul. I'm sorry it seems kind of rushed. I didn't want to spend too much time on each book because it would take me hours if I did that. But those are all the books that I got. Please leave a like. Please comment below, like, what are some of, like, if you recognize some of those books, or maybe if you see that I've liked some of those books, some other books that are like that. And yeah, please subscribe. Have a great day, night, or whatever, and I will see you guys in the next, I'll see you guys next Tuesday in a, well, depending, it might be a wintry recommendations type of video where I recommend wintry books. We'll have to see. Anyway, goodbye!